Today, from Salt Lake City, Utah, it's Week 9 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Zach Wilson and the Salt Lake City Elks taking on Joe Burrow and the Oklahoma City Nighthawks.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with their opponents. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Now Jones. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, Zach Wilson.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's McCaffrey. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Wilson. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. On 1st down, Wilson. He'll get that into the hands of Tebow. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 42 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on first and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. First and goal. McCaffrey. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Elks take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0. That time, a 9-play drive. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
Let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now it's Burrow. This goes out right to Doyle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Out to the flat for Hyde. And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the first at the 32. It's a gain of 9, but it's also going to mean a punt here on their opening drive.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here's Jones on the return. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Shotgun handoff down to McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now it's Wilson. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's fourth down. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
First down, a run with Hyde. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Burrow will throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll give to Hyde out of the gun. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Burrow looking to pass. Left side, Doyle with it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Here we go. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action with Burrow. Middle of the field to the tight end, Doyle. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now it's Burrow. He's got Jack Doyle. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And that catch, he just hit number 800 in his NFL career.
And just think, that puts you in top 35 range all time in the NFL in terms of number of catches. One significant guy in that number, Shannon Sharp, who was a tight end. That's big-time play right there.
Now it's Chris Boswell on for the field goal try. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
No run back here for Jones, a touchback. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, You've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. From the 31, Wilson. And this one's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Wilson. To the middle, he's got Tebow. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw again is Wilson. He completes it to Jones. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Wilson. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 4 yards remain for 2nd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. That one complete to Tebow.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw into the hands of the receiver, Chenault. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Wilson to throw. Throw left side, going to be caught by Chenault. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now Wilson. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. D Ford in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
We can't have that.
So the hand got inside the face mask that time. Looked like a pretty easy call.
And it was, and we saw this in their loss last week. Penalties at inopportune times that led to their demise.
So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal. To throw is Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the shotgun, Wilson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. D Ford, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. This from 36 yards out. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The OKC offense ready to set up shop again. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've done.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jabal Sheard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you're probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Burrow. Over the middle, complete. That's Doyle. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They're passing here. Joe Burrow got a man, and he hits him in stride. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Salt Lake City's offense back onto the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true. Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson, he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Wilson. A slant to Jones. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From midfield now, here's Wilson.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
They'll halt play here for an injury as Christian McCaffrey is slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Throwing again here, Wilson. And Jones has it over the middle. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure.
Touchdown! That's caught.
LaVisca Chenault.
His second touchdown on the season.
And the Elks are able to stretch out their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Now Prater to add the PAT. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So this drive spans 7 plays. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Throwing again on second down. Burrow. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Complete here. It's Hyde. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. He's going to float this one deep right side.
And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. 17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports.
Taking it about the 1. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Doyle. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaq Thompson leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow, he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And really, you can't have a better situation than this. 1st and goal at the 1. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
This is obviously a critical sequence for this defense if they want to stay in this game. Down 2 scores already. They give up a touchdown here. That makes things really difficult for their offense moving forward.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
Again, McCaffrey.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Now Wilson. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not. D Ford make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball gets super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Prater's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The OKC offense ready to set up shop again.
And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Calais Campbell on the stop. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. On third down, Burrow. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field, going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Throwing is Wilson. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson to Chenault on the slant. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Back to throw. Wilson. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football, because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
Throwing now. Burrow on 1st down. Catch made by Slayton. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's McGee. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Burrow. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another and Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's Jones.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
70 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now a run with McCaffrey. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And the pressure gets to McCaffrey as they stop him short of the line to gain.
Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A give. This is Chubb. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Prater's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard, but that is not the case as we play on here this 4th quarter.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Burrow. This goes out right to Doyle. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the 1st half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Out to the flat for Hyde. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off at about the 31. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Prater on to add the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The OKC offense ready to set up shop again. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. The intended target was Calvin Ridley. That'll bring up 2nd down. They go screen pass to Hyde. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And this offense on 3rd down today, lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
94 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. A throw right side. That's Tebow. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, McCaffrey, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. McCaffrey. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. From the left hash, a chip shot here. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Salt Lake City, they pick up win number 4 on the campaign as they emerge victorious here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for our visitors, it's just their 2nd loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.